Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Slowfoot. Check it out. Oh, there you go. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Frank, Mike, and Pete from Slowfoot. How you doing?
Hey, man. Thanks for having us on. We're hanging out, just chilling, ready to rock and roll with you tonight.
Excellent. Fantastic. And we've got Peter J. Hey,
Hi.
how you doing? And we got Kip. Are you there, Kip? Oh, he muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, buddy, still working on this technology thing.
He's from Chicago. He's a little slow.
Yeah, he's in Central Time, so we'll cut him some slack. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for being on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it. Frank, you had reached out to me and said you were interested in being on Fans with Bands, and so I was checking out the videos you guys have, and I really dig the music. I did not know about you guys until you'd reached out, and I was checking it out, and I was like, wow, this is really cool because number one, I love guitar-driven rock and roll, and you guys got this kind of soulful vibe going, great vocals, and just a real cool mix of music. And you did some really cool covers. I love that cover of Government Mule you guys did. That was fantastic. And then ripping it up at that, there's a video at somebody's wedding, and you guys are tearing it up. It was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So
that's that was our buddy Emily and Mitch's wedding up in the Upper Peninsula here in Michigan, up in Autrain, Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, they rented a whole camp site, like a whole campground, and we all like stayed in cabins and tents. Let me tell you something, man. It was like 45 degrees during the day in the sun, and me and my lady had a cabin with a heater in it, and some of these people were roughneck camping, and it was cold. It was cold. It was like late October or mid-October wedding. It was just freezing, man.
Good time was had by all.
Awesome.
It was, for sure. Yeah, Kip still can't remember what he forgot.
Yeah, sure can't.
But yeah, that video, that I think it's on TikTok, that video of us playing that it's a Buddy Miles song we're playing, and yeah, everybody was just locked in that night and just grooving real hard. So that was a lot of fun, man.
That's awesome. So I had my take of your music from seeing the videos and checking out stuff you had on Facebook and Reverb Nation, but I was kind of wanted to get your guys' take. Like, what do you think of Slowfoot as your musical style?
We're terrible, man.
Is that a genre? Terrible?
Yeah, no.
Disappointing.
I think that
It's a variety of terrible.
Yeah, it's an eclectic group of terribleisms. No, I think that we're soulful and we're bluesy, but I don't think we're blues, and we're not really like hard rock. Yeah. We just kind of play what we like and we play what we feel. To try and genre is tough.
I know
that question always gets me every time, but it's like rock and bluesy kind of soulful stuff.
Yeah, it's very American. It's very American in its roots. It's very Americana.
Very cool.
I like that. Yeah.
So you got
yeah.
I think it's your first album called Something Good coming out on. You've got an album released the 23rd at Otis Supply. Is that correct?
December 23rd, we're releasing our album Something Good at Otis Supply in Ferndale, and the album drops the same day on all major streaming platforms. I believe December 9th, which is 2 days from today. It'll be available for pre-sale on iTunes or Apple Music. I don't know if those are two things. I'm getting older and I don't really understand what the whippersnappers are doing anymore with the music, with the iTunes and the Amazons and the Deezers, and there's a whole bunch of them. But we just got the CDs in the mail. CDs.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. I don't know what we're gonna do with them, but we have them, and we're so excited, man. We've been making new merch and really hammering down our set. We've got a guest percussionist, Dan Wallach, coming in to do the Santana piece there. He's got congas and timbales and bongos and shakers and bells and whistles and screamers and laughers and all the fun stuff,
Yeah. So I think I saw that was recorded at the Temper Mill. Is that correct?
we did the bed tracks at Temper Mill in Ferndale.
Okay.
And then Peter J has a space in his basement, and we did all of the overdubs, all the reworks. Pretty much, if Temper Mill caught the heart of the album, Peter J's basement caught the soul of it. It was all the everything else was done there, and we spent way more time at Peter J's house than we did at the Temper Mill.
Here you could see some of it here.
Oh,
it's a pretty
yeah.
groovy room,
Yeah, for sure.
It's very, very, very comfortable.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a very cozy.
Very nice. So,
Oh yeah. So
where was the mixing?
We got some great tracking here.
Oh, cool.
So Peter J did the mixing and mastering as well, same place.
Nice.
In the bunker there. So we've known Peter J for forever. It seems like there used to be a blues club in Auburn Hills called Callahan's.
Yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah, Peter J was the dude behind the magic there. He was in charge of all the audio there. So I believe the first record that we ever did, we were in a band called Dirty Basement Blues. Peter, Michael, and myself were in a band called Dirty Basement Blues, and we recorded our first record at the Sound Shop out in Macomb. Josh Ford engineered it and produced it for us, and then Peter mastered it for us.
Cool.
And then our second album was a live album cut at Callahan's. Peter J mixed and mastered it for us, and then when Slowfoot was ready to do our record, it was like there was a no-brainer. We were riding with our guy here. So
right. Excellent.
We did a lot of shows together
Yeah.
for many years. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you know each other, and tendencies, and temperaments and all that, because you start getting into recording, and you're gonna have to redo stuff, and you get frustrated with things, and it's not all rainbows and lollipops,
That's for sure, man. That's for sure. So, so how did you guys get together? How did the band Slowfoot come about? And before you answer that, how did you come up with the name?
So the name is Slowfoot originally was myself, Michael, Chris, and Adam Stone was the drummer. Adam ended up wanting to do something different than what we were doing at the time, so we brought in our current drummer, Tony. He like broke his foot or maybe ankle playing hockey like 2 weeks after he joined the band.
Oh man.
And it was his hi-hat foot, so it's like it was fine, but he was like, we rehearsed in a notoriously dirty basement, just like beer cans and drums and guitar parts and God knows what else down there. So it's kind of tough to walk through, and he was like crutching his way through the filth. And Mike goes, "Hey, hurry up, Slowfoot, we got to practice," or something like that. And we've been trying to figure out a name for months, and then it just stuck, So that's Slowfoot. It's people always think we're like riffing off the Clapton thing, and we're not,
That's what I was wondering too, if it was the slow hand, slow foot. But yeah, that's cool.
No, it's way stupider than that.
So how long have you guys been together?
I think we've been together in this capacity for 5 years, but I always lose track of it because I lose track of everything anymore. But I think in this iteration, we've been together about 5 years, and we did one kind of halfway live CD when we played at Callahan's, and it was just kind of, we recorded that night, just spur of the moment, whatever. And Peter J mixed it and mastered it for us. But this is our first like studio. We get to go in and like really work it out and do exactly what we wanted to do, sort of thing. So this is probably the biggest moment as a band for us, getting this album out. It feels like we're birthing a child.
So what was it like for you guys to record this? I mean, had you I guess let me back up. The songs that you've got on this album, what was the songwriting like for you guys? Did you were you going into the studio putting stuff together in the studio, or did you have a catalog of songs you had ready to go?
We had everything pretty much ready to go. There's one song that was written about 2 weeks before we went into the studio that didn't end up making it. So we're still kind of working that one out, but everything else was pretty much done. It was a collection of songs for myself that I'd been working on since begun writing songs, you know,
Uh,
that I'd never recorded. And then I think I wrote 3 new ones to put on the record. And then Pete here wrote 2 songs, Going Home and Day Job, which are like the 2 coolest songs on the record because Pete writes really good songs. But yeah, so there was one song called Peace of Mind. It was really cool. Like the idea of it's really cool, but it wasn't ready yet. Like
right.
there was no point in trying to massage this thing to life. You know, just wait on it and we'll get it on the next go around. But songwriting's always been a weird thing for me. I don't have a method to it. I don't write a melody and then write words, or I don't write a guitar part and then the vocal line or anything like that. It just whatever happens, happens. You know, usually
Yeah.
I'll be working on a guitar groove or something and something will stick, and then it evolves, it unfolds, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah. So, but do you guys, is it more like if you, Pete, or anybody else in the band comes forward with like a kind of a almost fully formed song, or is it like you said, like a riff, or somebody comes up with a drum pattern or something like that, and then go, oh, that sounds really cool. Add on somebody that comes in and goes, oh, let's change this. Let's add this bass riff. Blah blah blah.
I think it's a little bit of both. It just depends on really the song, because we've experienced both of those things down in the rehearsal room. Usually, it's somebody will come with a fully formulated idea or something,
Uh,
but it's, you know, it's all open to interpretation and evolution at that point. And you know, you got to do whatever the song needs, right? You got to
right.
do, if something's not working, you just got to figure it out and go around it. But I don't know. I think songwriting is probably one of the most important talents you can have as a musician. It's probably the one people have the least. Writing good songs is really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
So, so what got you guys into wanting to make music? Who was there a particular person or an album, or you saw a band or something that said, "Ah, man, I want to do that," and we can go around the horn for the folks that are over there.
Pete, what made you get into music?
Oh man,
Step
you know,
towards Peter.
musicians have always in my life were always my heroes. So probably started off with my dad's friends and church musicians and just people on TV. I don't know. I just always idolize musicians. I guess a lot of way kids idolize
Right.
sports guys usually.
Awesome.
And then I never like really outgrew it. I guess it just stuck with me.
That's
Um,
cool.
Yeah, it
Cool.
just sort of became the thing that I respected the most, and so it's the thing I want to do the most.
Awesome. Awesome. Frank,
For me, it was a bunch of different stuff that made me get into music. The first things like the Beatles. I started listening to the Beatles when I was in like the 5th or 6th grade, and just hearing those early records, I was like, oh man, I got a guitar when I was 12, I think. And that
nice.
kind of, I got into Hendrix and Zeppelin and all of those things. My dad bought all those records for us when we were kids, so we were listening to it. And then movies, man, like when Michael J. Fox plays the red 335 and Back to the Future, it's like
Yeah.
the crowd's going wild, and like that thing you do, that movie, it's just, you see that stuff, you're like, oh, that's kind of, I want to do that. That looks cool. And
And you finally got a red 335.
I did finally get a red 335 just because of Back to the Future. But no, it's music's always seemed like it called to me more than most anything else. And you stick with what you know.
That's cool. Very cool.
Hey Mike, what got you into music? Can you hear Mike?
My story's pretty
Oh,
much
they-
like Pete's.
Yeah.
My dad was getting together with his friends playing music, and you know, they looked cooler than me. So I decided to do it.
Side
Excellent.
note, they still look cooler than Mike.
Awesome.
To me, music was like a alternative to like parenting. It was like it was another type of parenting for me that really clicked. And lyrics, it didn't matter who it was. One line of a lyric could really teach me something. You know, whether it was Zeppelin or Beefheart or Hendrix or something, a lyric could just help me in life. You know, and it was like, and it became a calling for me. It was like I have to follow this path because I like, you know, the type of parenting that music was doing for me. And
Cool.
not that parents were bad at it, but
Yeah.
it was more relevant to the times growing up, than they could understand.
Yeah. Awesome. So, kind of along those lines, Peter, what was the very first album you ever bought?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, my first album I bought, Zappa's Freak Out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Those
That's
little right? Little parenting, but that helped in life.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Not to mention the course.
Frank, how about you? What was your first album that you got?
First album I ever personally bought was the Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem, and I remember this vividly. We were at Target, and I knew that my mom would buy it for me, but I knew she would want me to get the one without the parental advisory sticker on that,
Yeah.
which wasn't cool, man. If you had the one with the cuss words taken out of it, you were like a loser or whatever at school. I was in like the 5th grade or whatever,
Right.
So I hid all of the parental advisory ones in another aisle at Target. And I was like, Mom, they don't have, all they have is the one with the cuss words on it. And she said, if you're walking around the house swearing, I'm going to beat your ass. This is what she said to me. And it never happened. She didn't beat my ass at all. And I was walking around cussing like an MFer around there, like rapping Slim Shady. That's a stark change from the Beatles, huh?
Right. It is. Holy cow. So I'm kind of curious. So how did you go from the Beatles to Eminem? I mean,
well, it was kind of like when I was a kid, 4th and 5th grade, that's what people were listening to. So
I
we
guess,
had like
yeah.
the Will Smith Millennium record and the Baja Man. I had that CD. I had Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, all that stuff. And it was just what people were listening to. And we'd be like roller skating at the Rolladium, listening to Limp Bizkit or whatever,
Excellent.
And then it was cool, whatever. But when I started listening to the Beatles and Zeppelin was the next one for me, it was like, oh, that's music. Okay, yeah, like I get it now. Like, yeah, Limp Bizkit, great. You start listening like Strawberry Fields Forever, and you're like, okay, there's a difference, and not being a snob or anything like that.
No, yeah. I mean, there's great music across all genres, really, but certain things speak to you more than others, and and yeah, I was a late bloomer actually to the Beatles. I mean, for the longest time, it was funny. I was just talking with somebody else last night about being a late bloomer to Queen and the Police as well, because when I was a kid, I was listening to Kiss and pretty much just listened to Kiss, all the time, and then got into heavier stuff like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and stuff. And so I didn't really listen to the Beatles until, I don't know, maybe I was like 18 or 19. And then I finally listened and I was like, oh, shit, I've been missing all this, And then the Police, I didn't get into them till, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago. And I was like, shit, I missed all this.
I still haven't done the Police thing. And I know like everybody always says, come on, you got to get into it.
It's like everything, it's still there. It's not like it went anywhere.
So
yeah, exactly.
A coworker of mine has been begging me to watch The Wire on HBO. He's been begging me to watch it. And I watched one episode of it and I was like, I don't know. I had a hard time paying attention to it, whatever. And he goes, just watch it, man. Just keep going through it. So I texted him. I was like, dude, I started watching The Wire. I'm like 3 episodes into it. It's so good. And he was like, thank you so much for watching it. I wish I was in your shoes and I could just rewatch it again for the first time. And like, that's what, when you start digging into a band, like I've been getting really into Little Feat lately. And I'm like, how did this get past me? This is like so cool.
Right.
This is so cool. How did I not know this was here? But it's so cool to find it. And it really never is the same. You listen to a record the first 3 or 4 times, you're like, oh, it's like lightning in a bottle.
Right.
Like I see them.
And then what I do, this is the timeline of music for me. I hear a song and I'm like, oh my God, that's the best song ever. And then I listen to it 400 times in like 3 days and I'm singing it to myself. And then I learn to play it on the guitar and then it's ruined for me. I don't even really like it that much anymore. It's like, you know the song now. Like, I don't know what it is. I do it like every new song I find. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I guess it's like if I can play it, it can't be that cool.
That's funny. If I can play it, it can't be that cool.
Right.
There's no way. You didn't write it, yeah, but I can still do it. So it's like, average at best.
Right. Oh man. So Pete, how about you? What was your first album?
I can't remember for sure my first album. I want to say it's Chuck Berry's Greatest Hits. Does that count as an album?
Nice. Yeah. Hell
I'm
yeah.
lucky I get to say a cool one. The first purchase I can remember
Whoa.
making in a record store, though, is Funky Town.
All right. Nice. That's a
So,
classic,
yeah.
man.
I mean, I was a little kid when that came out, and that little talk box I thought was just badass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then I learned about Lynn drum machines and all kinds of other things. That probably started my synthesizer.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
hide Pete's synthesizer from him.
Yeah. If they don't have a conversation, they have to take it away from
He's
me.
making beep boop noises in the corner. We don't know what's going on.
Well, you broke the Farfisa temper mill. So
You know what? I'm happy to report it is back up and running. I was back out there to do some overdubs with One Ton Trolley. Do you know them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting in I did some organ tracks for them, and yes, the Temper Mill Farfisa is back up and rocking.
Yeah, we have Farfisa Oregon on Mexico Lindo, which is the only cover track on our record, but it's a cover of a local band that Mike was in, Jam Sandwich, like probably
cool.
15 years ago. But we covered the song Mexico Lindo, and for Pete's Organ solo, I was like, well, they have a Farfisa, man. We should use this Farfisa. That's so sick. And I think it was his second take, and he just lays down this whopper of a solo, dude. Killer solo, and the organ literally dies as he's taking his last 10 notes, and it cuts off. Right. And it was like, there's no way, like, we're not using that. So Peter J like sprinkled some fairy dust on it. I don't even know what he did, but it worked, and it's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I had some extra dust around. I had some laying around
with the Zappa amp,
right?
The bottom in a little Ziploc bag. Beef art dust.
Well, I'll tell you what, like, just sitting watching engineers work on recordings, like, there's so many times where I was like, this is terrible. There's nothing can be done about this. It's terrible. It's awful. And Peter J's like, hold on, calm down. What about something like this?
Let's try it. Undo. We can always undo, which is my. It's like, let's just try it, dude. We can always undo it.
I'd give him a list of like 500 things, and the next day he'd be like, well, what else do you hear? And I'm like, well, and he didn't tell me that all the edits are done. He's like, we'll make a list now. And I'm like, I swear I'm not hearing any of the things that I was hearing before. And he was like, yeah, I fixed them, dude. I was like, oh,
all right.
You can fix stuff.
The wizard.
There wasn't that many. There wasn't that many.
10 million mistakes. The album was more mistake than boy.
Yeah, that was good. That was the first title, 10 million mistakes. But
yeah, a jagged little pill. Yeah. We tried for that one, but somebody already taken it. It's weird. Hey, what's that guitar back there? Is that a 335?
Let's see.
So you got two gold tops?
This little guy right there.
Yeah.
That's my mom's Les Paul signature. So it's not technically a 335, but it does have semi.
Cool. Huh? That's your mom's?
Yeah, that's she bought that in '76.
She's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Bring her down. Bring her in your studio.
Oh, yeah, bring it in.
Bring her in.
Oh yeah. Well, my mom's passed away, but
I'm sorry.
Buddy.
Yeah, but I inherited her guitar, so. Yeah, and then the other gold top is mine. That's I think it's a 2003 Les Paul.
So you and your mom liked Gibson gold tops, huh?
Yeah, actually the I think it was it Sears? Sears used to sell like
Silvertone.
Yeah, like a Les Paul looking guitar, and we had one at the house, and it was in totally bad shape. I mean, the neck was coming off it and everything. So I asked Mom, can I take it and try to work on it? And it was unplayable, when I got done with it. I put strings on it, but I painted it gold. So put a like sparkle gold top on it. It was just spray paint. It was it was
Hey,
it was
it
a
looks
monstrosity. So yeah, once I got enough money to get my own Les Paul, I had to get a gold top. So that or the white, because I was a huge fan, or still am, of Randy Rhoads, and he had that white Les Paul. Yeah.
Spiral.
No,
Is
not
that
the Zach Wild.
That's Zach Wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I start getting confused when you start getting into hard stuff. I don't know what's going on. Where am I? So I played a black hardtail Strat for years, for like 10 years. And I always thought Hendrix was like the man. So
Yeah.
I was like, first guitar I got was a green plywood Squire Strat, like the front man pack. It came with a little 15-watt amp or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And for my 16th birthday, my dad was a mechanic. He still is, but he was like, "Do you finish a motor job in the driveway?" and hands me like $1,000. I was like, "Go get a guitar. Go get a nice guitar." And I went and bought my black hardtail Strat American, and I played that thing for like 10 years. And I went up to Motor City Guitar to warranty a cable, and I saw the 335 that I have now. It's like a red flame maple top, and it's just the prettiest little girl you've ever seen in your life. And I
It's my
bought.
favorite guitar ever. I love that thing. I'm so glad I'm more glad he got it than I think that he is.
So I brought that thing home, and I haven't touched my Strat since. And I think about it all the time. I'm like, I really should play the Strat, and then I pull out the 335, and I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
335.
It's all over the record. It sounds beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
big part. Yeah.
It's especially good in Slowfoot, because Mike plays the solid body Strat sound.
Yeah, Mike has the Paul Reed Smiths or Fender leads. He has a Fender leads too, but yeah, it does give us a different texture. And
Yeah.
as we're kind of growing as a band, we're trying to get more into the dual guitar lead and guitar harmony stuff. And it's a total different way of thinking if you've never dipped your toes into it. There's some learning that goes along with it that you have to do. And so we're kind of working on it, because I think, we've got the guy playing a Hammond organ through a Leslie, and we got the soulful vocals, and the good rhythm section, and a bass player that can do some really interesting things outside of the box type stuff. It's like, we should probably incorporate a little more Allman Brothers esque stuff with us. Play some more fifth harmonies. Do some weird
Hell yeah. I
cats
love
meowing things.
I love the Allman Brothers. So love those. Almost jazzy interplays between the guitars is very cool. So speaking of Mike, what was Mike's first album? Is he still there?
Mike left. Mike's gone.
All right.
Mike, here.
What was the first
First
record?
album,
First
you're up.
record you ever bought?
First record I ever bought was the Black Metallica album and Use Your Illusions.
Oh, really awesome.
That was good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, we got somebody else is joining. So
Was it Glenn Hutchinson? Oh, geez.
audio's connecting. We'll find out.
I wonder which Glenn this could be. We know at least 75 Glens.
They're gonna scum up the airwaves.
Hey, Kip's here. Kip, where have you been?
Just listening.
Hey, Kip, what was your first album?
So I was late to the album game, but the first album I purchased was Brothers and Sisters by the Allman Brothers.
Oh, doozy.
Yeah, it was a good start.
Nice. Glenn, can you hear us? We got a little echo too.
Must be coming from Kip's phone,
Oh yeah.
because I don't hear it when he mutes.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, can you hear us? Hello, Glenn.
Glenn?
Oh, he's
Oh, now I remember my first proper album.
Proper?
proper.
Weird
What
Al.
was it?
Weird Al?
It was is it called Eat It? It's the album that had Eat It on it.
Weird Al.
Nice.
It's funny how many people.
That's the first full album I went out and bought.
It's funny how many people either say Weird Al or what was the other one I was thinking of? But Weird Al comes up a lot, like being an album that a lot of people start off with. So I'm like, that dude is all over the place.
He is.
My older sister, both my older sisters loved music, and they had a whole rack of tapes and CDs in their
Oh.
room. But I was like the little brother. I was baby brother. So like they wouldn't let me touch anything because quote unquote I broke everything.
Right.
And that may or may not be true. But just my older sisters liked the Bare Naked Ladies a lot and the Cranberries. I remember the Cranberries. Is it Zombie? Is that a
Zombie, yeah.
Cranberry song?
Oh yeah.
That one and Alanis Morissette and Shania Twain. I like Shania Twain too, but that
Right.
was a different thing than the
Who
music.
doesn't love Shania Twain?
Oh, big time, buddy.
Absolutely love Shania.
Yeah, you better believe it. So we like to keep it eclectic over here at the Slowfoot, in the Slowfoot camp. We
Yeah,
like to keep it real.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. So, kind of on first, what was the very first concert you went to?
I will never forget this. It was Foghat because
Really?
I had just gotten the Foghat Best of record or whatever. It's got like Fool for the City and Slow Ride and I Just Want to Make Love to You, Maybelline, stuff like that on it.
Yeah.
And do you remember are you from like the Oakland County, Metro Detroit area?
I'm in Ann Arbor, but I was born in Detroit, so I know the area.
So Pine Knob had the $5 voucher concerts when I was like 13, 14 years old, right? And Foghat was coming, I forget, like with Blue Oyster Cult or something like that. And my dad says to my older sister, hey, there's a concert coming with Foghat, this band from when I was a kid. I'd like you to see them. And I was like, I want to go. And my sister was like, you're too young to go. Da, 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 da. I was like, you don't even like Foghat. But yeah, so we went and saw Foghat. I think I was 12 or 13 years old. It was cool.
That's the perfect time to see Foghat, I think, for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. How about Pete? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
No, I didn't get to go. I wasn't allowed to go to concerts till I was kind of old because that's how my parents were. They're afraid I'd go get high, and I guess that proved to be a problem with concerts and me.
So what was the
So
first
my first one though
Yeah.
was Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, nice.
and it was Madison Square Garden, and
Oh.
my mom actually had to go like get tickets for me. So it was pretty cool. So she
Wow.
got tickets from her friends, and we hopped on a train to go see Harry Connick Jr. And God, that concert was good.
Nice.
I don't know
I
anything.
mean, they've all gone on to their own. That whole big band's gone on to their own greatness too.
I
Yeah.
don't know anything that Harry Connick Jr. does. What is? I hear the name.
He does big band,
Yeah.
and this is when he was sort of in his Frank Sinatra era, I guess. I would
Yeah.
say.
Because that's how I think of Harry Connick is the he did a lot of
Very
like the
Sally
standards, yeah, that Frank did. So
Yeah.
with the same big band kind of thing, and like I guess that'd be considered technically like 40s jazz, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah, pretty much it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I followed that up with Fish.
Nice.
Just to prove my mom right, I went and got high and got acid at a Fish show.
Oh man. Peter J, how about you, man? Where's your first show?
it was the Livonia ice rink, and I was too young to really go inside, but it was the Stooges were playing in the ice rink, and I was like, and I was on my bike, my little Schwinn bike, banana seat, whatever, and everyone was like, Livonia didn't really have hippies; they had like more like greasers, like greasy hair, feathers, and it was a tough looking crowd. And they were talking about like the band inside was the Stooges, which I thought was hilarious because I was like 10. So it was like the Stooges, So outside of the hockey rink, it was just this cacophony of like just this kind of thing, which I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really count as my first concert, but wow, And then later I got to find out who the Stooges were. But at the time, it was just like this band with this hilarious name.
Yeah.
But what we're doing to that hockey rink, the very hockey rink I learned how to skate in, they were destroying it. And I thought that was incredible. And then I saw Kiss in 75. That was my first real indoor concert, was Kiss in 75. That was
Holy cow.
blowing up, and everything that was pretty mind-blowing too for a 14-year-old,
Yeah. Was that at Kobo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a live album or not, but it was like 75. And for a kid, it was pretty huge,
Hell yeah. Yeah, when I got Kiss Alive,
You know.
I was in 6th grade, and I was like, well, my parents are like, "What the hell is this?" But I heard it at school, and I was like, "This is fantastic!" Yeah,
Chuck,
little
were your
football.
parents cool, or were they like worried that you were gonna like be like knights in Satan's service and all
No,
that stuff?
yeah, no,
No, they
they
were
were
spray painting guitars together, right?
right. That's
Rock and
right.
roll,
Yeah,
mom.
yeah. My mom. Well, my dad was. So both my mom used to play in a country band, and but she was also she taught guitar too, but she was open to all kinds of different music. And my dad was pretty much country. He George Jones, and which I liked, still do, George Jones, and um, you know shit, blanking out right now, but because I can just think of George Jones and Tom T. Hall and that kind of stuff. Um, but they were too, they were fine with whatever I was listening to, as long as I wasn't, trying to murder chickens or something like that. My dad would give me a hard time because I think
What's wrong with murdering chickens?
I know, when I started getting into metal, and then you had the Ozzy albums and that stuff. They're like, "Whoa, what's this?" But or the Gene Simmons with the blood, big posters and stuff. They're like, "Oh," but
I
they were
just have
cool
to
about it.
clarify. I have to clarify something. Pete raises chickens at his house, so he
Well, what's wrong with killing
does
chickens?
does kill chickens from time to time. I wouldn't call it murdering them or anything. He's not
But they
maiming them.
would.
I think he got a kick out of that. But
Pete-
I've eaten
Pete's like,
a lot of their eggs.
Pete's like, hell yeah, we gotta murder these chickens all the time.
He goes, "What's wrong with murdering chickens?"
Right.
We can edit that part out, right?
Oh man.
I hope that's the 6-second sound
Depends on what
preview
you
for the
do.
episode.
It depends what you do with the chicken after you murder it. I mean, do you cook it or do you just let it lay there?
Right.
So if you you're cool. You're cool if you cook it.
Oh,
That's
no,
right.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's the point.
pluck it and season it. I think
Alright.
is the acceptable
Then
answer.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not murder. You're off the hook.
Yep. There you go. Kip, how about you? What
Is
was
that
your
legal distinction?
Yes.
It's not
I-
murder if you eat them, Your Honor.
Didn't work for Dahmer.
Oh man. Hey Kip, how about you? What was your first concert?
My first concert was actually Trey Anastasio at the Chicago Theater when I was 15 years old. Me and my buddy convinced our parents to let us buy tickets on a Tuesday night, and we took the train down and we went, we're these young innocent kids. So then we end up getting to the Chicago Theater. We're like third level real high, and our seat was broken, so the ushers gave us seats on the first level in the way back. So then my buddy turned to me and he's like, "Dude, we're sneaking up front." I was, like, "I don't know, man, they're gonna kick us out. Like, I'm real scared." So we ended up like sneaking up to we were fifth row when we were 15 years old at a Trey show after Fish broke up. So that was pretty wild.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
then his dad picked us up and he said, "Out walks just a billow of smoke when the doors open, and just the dirtiest humans you could imagine. And there's my son and his best friend."
Oh, he didn't have the Almost Famous thing where they go, the little, when she's whistling to him, "Don't do drugs."
Oh yeah, right.
Don't do drugs, Mom.
Oh man.
The best scene in that entire movie is when his mom calls and the one groupie answers the phone and she's just talking to his mom for 20 minutes.
Right.
No, your kid's a good kid. Take it from me. And his mom's just like, "Oh God."
Yeah. That movie is classic. I love that one. Where was I going to go with that? So as far as like places you could play for Slowfoot, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you guys like to play, and who would you like to have on the show with you?
Like anytime in space and
Anytime in
death doesn't
space.
apply.
Yep, that doesn't apply.
Personally, I'd like to play in front of the pyramids, and it could be with or without the dead at the same time that they played the pyramids. Who am I, to say whether or not the dead could be there? But that would be sweet. I just would like to go see the pyramids, man. But practical venue, conventional venue. Oof, Fillmore East, back when it was like really going on. That would be
Yeah.
cool. Play one of those shows would be sweet. What about you, Pete?
Jeez. I like your pyramid idea for we'll have to do the movie out there at the pyramids.
Why not? But I was just watching.
Let's go with classic Red Rocks. You know, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Austin Stevens show would also be pretty sweet.
That's what I
Christ.
Red Rocks. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Be way cool.
Yeah, I'd like to just go see a show there. Still on one of my I'd like to go.
Yeah, I haven't seen a show there either. Just
Yeah.
I think
mean,
Mike's the only one of us that has been out to Red Rocks. They saw Humphreys McGee there 2 nights in a row, I think.
Oh,
I've been
wow.
there. I saw Panic play there. It was fan-diddly-tastic.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd like to go there to see a show, and I'd like to see one at the Ryman. I think that would be fun.
Nice.
wouldn't
Yeah.
mind going back in time and doing a show at the wetlands.
Oh yeah.
I kind of missed that boat by not a whole lot. If my time and place had been a little bit different, I would have done some wetland shows.
I think Marcus King just got done playing at the Ryman. I know Billy's played there, I think multiple times, Billy Strings.
Yep.
Man, that's
Yeah.
just a historic venue, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a tour. We went down to Nashville. It was like 5 years ago, and did the tour, which was really cool. Went to the new Grand Ole Opry like stage and checked that
Oh.
out, and then went over to the Ryman to check that out too. So it was cool. But I would definitely like to see a show there because it seems like it would just be, fantastic.
There's a venue that's like underground. It's like in a cave. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but I've seen pictures.
Caverns.
Right, the caverns, right?
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Acoustically, it's supposed to be like phenomenal, and it's underground, right? You go underground, and it's
I
caverns.
think it's like restricted to like non-electric bands because I think like they don't know if it's structurally sound or not. Like
Really?
too many vibrations. Yeah, they're concerned with the volume down there a lot
Oh, right.
because yeah, you don't have Black Sabbath play down there.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
there with the Who opening. We're
Yeah, the
cutting that out.
Woodstock 99 era Korn can't play there.
Right.
Oh,
PBS actually hosts a lot of like shows that they play. Like they'll play artists at that venue that you can watch, and they're all like acoustic bands. You're exactly right, Frank. Like Billy's played
It's in
there.
Ohio, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe Tennessee, Kentucky, one of the two.
Makes
Yeah,
way more sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was not too far in that kind of cave structure that Mammoth Caves is, but not in Mammoth Caves, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Yeah.
looks amazing. Looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that's another one. I gotta make a list so I can actually get to these places. It would be cool.
I was saying DTE is fabulous. I'd be
Yeah.
happy to do a show
DTE
there.
upsets me because, and I'll
It's-
tell you why. Not the
Pine Knob?
electric company. Yeah, Pine Knob.
Sorry, is it Pine Knob still?
Yeah, it's
No, it
back to
still
Pine
is.
Knob.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit longer.
But regardless of that, naming rights aside, you guys are always about the money. But they stop like the speakers on the outside of the pavilion are no longer on, like we wouldn't notice, and it sounds like can I swear on this show?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like a bag of dicks if you're on the hill. I went and saw Steely Dan there, and I was pretty excited about it. And I was like row 10 or something in the pavilion. I was like, it doesn't even sound good down here. What is happening? Why is this going? What's going on? And it's like people complain about it being too loud, so they have to be too. It's a concert venue. Come on,
Yeah.
just have a concert at the concert venue. Maybe I'm going deaf.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe it is hit or miss because when I saw the Black Crows there this summer, it sounded pretty. Or actually, they weren't there this summer. That was
That was
2 years
last
ago.
summer, but
Last
that
summer.
concert was
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
There were so many people there.
Yeah, but it sounded pretty good, I thought.
We were standing on the back side of the hill, about a third of the way down the back side of the hill, and there was just people. You couldn't go any. It was wild.
Well, I went and saw him up at Soaring Eagle. That's where that was this summer, and that was
Was that
outside.
with Max Saturn opening for him?
Yeah, it was.
I haven't listened to those guys too much, but I hear their names everywhere, and I've seen a couple of their videos, and they just look like they're just high energy, like real deal rock and roll, man. It's so cool that they're
Yeah.
local boys.
Yeah, they seem to be doing really good, and they had a vibe that sort of reminded me of the Stones, and maybe it's just because their singer just he seems like he's reincarnated of, well, Mick Jagger's not dead yet, but he's got that guy's moves down. I mean, he's just like
Pre-carnated.
yeah, pre-carnated.
Do you know of the magazine Rocket Night out of Florida? Do you know Charisse at all?
No, I don't.
So I've been working with her for like a long time. She'll do write-ups and album reviews, and they have photographers everywhere that take pictures of shows. Like they did the Who when they were at Little Caesars Arena recently.
Oh, cool.
And all that. And she told me about Max Saturn probably about a year ago. And what she said was the lead singer has major Mick Jagger vibes. That was like a year ago, dude.
Yeah, he does. They were great. I mean, but yeah, I definitely had very much a Rolling Stones kind of feel from them, but it was probably because of that guy. I can't think of his name, but I used to know the drummer. He was in another band before.
The Lows, that was Angelo Coppola.
Yeah. Yep. The Lows. Yeah.
I remember that. I was, man, it's funny. Like social media is so funny because you don't really know these people, but
right.
You know them. If you like saw them in person, you'd be like, hey, I think I know you from the internet. That's really weird.
I know that happens, every once in a while, because somebody will come up to me and say, "Hey, Chuck," and I'm like, "I don't know who this is," but we're like, we're Facebook friends. I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry, man."
I thought you were gonna try and sell me B vitamins. I didn't know you were a real person.
Right. So you get the album release on the 23rd. What else you got planned in the hopper for the band?
So December 10th, we're playing at the Crowfoot, the Pike Room of the Crowfoot with some friends, Balls Deluxe for their Christmas party. Them and the band Wide Track, and I can't remember the other band on the bill, and I'm so sorry. Ghosts of August.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're doing that, and then January 16th. It's not for sure yet, but we have a major announcement coming up.
All right.
Early January. I don't want to say it yet because it's like just in the works today, but
Cool.
that should be neat. We have a music video coming out on the 16th of December for
Cool.
Pete's song Day Job.
Starting Frank.
Honest to Hoyle music video. We have a script and everything. We actually really did it. There's even some scenes in black and white. No big deal.
Nudes of Frank.
So yeah, my OnlyFans is going platinum. No, it's really not. If you would go over my OnlyFans, I'd appreciate it. I could use the traffic. But so we got a music video coming out. We have a bunch of merch coming out, and I'm just excited to see where this goes because this is the first time. We've been doing pretty good as a band, getting on decent shows, and we've been doing a little festivals here and there. But it's the first time we actually have something to actually promote.
Yeah.
And we'll have our CD release party pictures. We can make a real EPK.
Yeah.
We're gonna multicam shoot the release party.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be able to cut that up and do hopefully we did a couple cool songs out of it. Maybe the whole thing's really cool. We can make a live album to release down the road.
Yeah.
So the possibilities there are endless. I've also been trying to at least dip my toes into I record everything we do now with my Zoom audio recorder and 3 cameras. So if there's anything if lightning strikes, we can make a video out of it. However, it's funny. We were having a really good summer. We were like just on every show. We were just on, man. I was like, I'm going to start recording us. Yeah. And it seemed like as soon as I knew we were recording, like we weren't getting the magic. I was like, come on, man. Like
I killed it.
Yeah. Red light syndrome.
You can't know that you're being recorded.
Yeah. So what?
There is some to that too. My dad's noticed that if ever you played something cool, be like, I'm just gonna do that again. I'm gonna record it. It's like
Oh, I know.
You gotta be in the moment
already. It's already done.
You gotta be in the moment, and the moment is past.
Yeah.
You don't tell your band your recordings. Don't ever say it.
Right.
So we got all that going on, and then February 10th. We play at a little local festival called the Groove Hotel up in Chelsea, Michigan, with Desmond Jones, Covert Ops, Leroy, the Outfit, and the Mac Pods.
Nice.
So
where's that going to
is
be at?
that's in Chelsea. It's called Groove Hotel.
Leroy, that's
Wow.
the second time Adam Stone's come up.
Yeah, Leroy,
There you go.
band out of Flint.
Adam Stone.
So that, I mean, that's what we got going on. It's been so crazy we had a crazy summer, and then I was probably out at Peter J's 2-3 nights a week, every week doing something or other, working on the record. And once I got everything submitted to the CD Baby and our disc template maker people, and our artwork or our merch is being done right now, everything's like done. All my communique is done. I set up a bunch of interviews and all that, and like just the other night I'm like sitting there at my house like looking at my phone like, what do I got to do?
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to do. We just have the CD release party or the album release party, and it's like that's stressing me out more than having a million things to do. I can't relax. But so I'm gonna probably take a month or so and just breathe for a second. But
Right. Well, that's good. The holidays anyway, so just let it slide.
Yeah.
You got fantastic. Let the holidays, enjoy the holidays. You earned it. All you guys did.
Oh, big time. I'm gonna get drunk as fuck on New Year's Eve.
Wait, isn't that how we album? Wait, what's
Well, yeah, I normally don't, so this year's gonna be different. This year's gonna be way different. So yeah, that going on. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. Usually there is a kind of a lull through January and a little bit of February anyway.
Yeah.
So we're happy to be on a couple of bigger shows throughout that period. And then, every year, like March, April, it just starts picking up. And the last couple of years, especially, it's just been like more and more and more and more. We're getting bigger shows. So it's just word of mouth. And, we work at it. We try and stay on it and get on bigger shows. And it's word of mouth advertising. So that's all. We just keep doing what we're doing. And it's working. And hopefully we can pick up a nice head of steam with this record.
Yeah.
People love you, man. You got a good thing. You really do. Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. I've just got one last question for you guys, and it's around the table. And I'll start with Frank, but pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
I had pineapple on my pizza tonight, like literally an hour ago. So pineapple on pizza is good.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
Pizza no?
I'm a no.
Mike's a no, pizza no. Tony and Chris are actually here. Tony, why don't you come over here and introduce yourself, buddy?
This is Slowfoot himself.
Yeah, this is Slowfoot.
Hey,
How you doing?
what's going on, man? So, pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
Yes. Yeah, it can go on.
Oh, he's Italian. He's certified Italian. He's good.
Yeah. It's fine. Whatever you want. Sardines. Let's do it.
I like it. Laissez-faire.
Awesome.
Chris, what about you?
I like my pineapple upside down on my front door.
Oh, Pete's into it. Get it, Pete?
You my neighbor?
Yeah. Why don't you be my neighbor?
But
So Peter J, would you get pineapple on your pizza?
I'd try it, man. Yeah, I would try it.
Yeah. All right.
Have you ever tried it yet?
Yeah.
If you haven't tried it yet, I feel like you're in the no camp.
That's what happened. I just tried it at Matt's this weekend.
How'd you think?
Really?
I was shocked and it was delicious.
It was delicious.
Really?
Okay.
Chuck, what about you?
All right.
Well, I'm on the no camp because I'm not a sweet and savory person. I like either one or the other, but not together.
Pretty sweet, dude. I don't know.
So yeah, but I keep hearing people say, especially pineapple with jalapeno, and so I might have to try it. I don't know. We'll see.
Just try it. What's the worst that happens? You hate it?
Right, exactly.
That's what happened to me. Well, I didn't throw up. I hated it. And I got to say,
Yeah.
I told you I'd hate this.
Well, what are you going to do? Hey, my sister's on here. Gabriella.
You know what else was disappointing? That BLT pizza crap that went around.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
come
as
on
bad
now.
as it sounded. Lettuce on pizza.
BLT pizza's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
big time.
So I gotta check in with Kip. Pineapple or no pineapple?
Totally pineapple. And I'm going to be honest, Chuck, as another fellow bald-headed male,
Yeah?
I totally expected you to have our backs on this one. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm sorry to let you down, man.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay.
And Frank, this is your sister Gabrielle. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know
Gabrielle?
if she's paying attention or maybe she's just trying to bolster our views.
Yeah,
She's got a 3-year-old. Her house could probably be on fire right now.
My house is on fire because I just burnt my pineapple pizza.
Oh shit!
Oh, awesome.
That might be good. That might be good. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Peter J that we've got to give it a try so that everyone, we can make an intelligent decision
Right.
about it.
If you roll pineapple, ham, and bacon, you're not going to be upset.
Well done. The pineapple well done might be.
With the char on it?
I mean, all that sounds good without the pizza underneath it.
Oh!
Oh, man. Oh, Lord.
So I do have to do one thing before we sayonara here. I haven't mentioned our supporting acts for the album release show, and I definitely want to give those guys a plug for sure. So we have Dan Menard is opening the show, and if you don't know Dan or haven't seen Dan play, he's like the most memorable, fantastic singer you've ever heard, with just a powerhouse cannon of a voice, and his songs are topical, they're clever, they're well written. He's a fantastic guitar player. So Dan is opening the show for about 45 minutes, and then Billy Brandt and the Sugaries are playing after us.
Oh, really?
And if you've never seen Billy Brandt, he's in a new thing called Voxana, which is kind of more acoustic-ish, but everything he does is outrageously harmonically just perfect. They do like these vocal harmonies that are wonderful. Every musician that he plays with is just incredible. Check them out. Consult your local library if you need to. Billy Brandt and the Sugaries and Dan Menard. So I definitely wanted to give those guys a shout out.
Cool.
Not forgotten.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll put links in the show notes, and I'll be sure to share the stuff on social media so you guys hopefully have a good show on the 23rd.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, guys, for being on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Peter J. and Kip, for joining as well.
It was fun.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And
Meet you, man. We'll talk again soon, I hope.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
Thanks
guys.
for letting me be a fifth wheel. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kip. Thanks for taking a break from pounding your butt out there in Chicago, bud.
All right. Okay, guys. Thanks again.
Take it easy, Chuck. Thanks.
All right. Thanks to Frank, Pete, Mike, Peter J, and Kip for joining me in this episode of Fans of Bands. It was awesome to get to meet the guys from Slowfoot and learn about their new album called Something Good, which you can pick up on December 23rd. Be sure to follow them on Facebook to find out where you can catch them live. I know I will be looking forward to getting out to see Slowfoot in action. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.